Good morning, friends. It's day 2 at Daryl's in Nova Scotia. You gotta be committed to old school. This is what I say. What are you gonna stand on? Tell you that I've brought them back into the lineup. These are a Paris boot.
I can't believe you go and make.
Dude, so there's a theme going on here, and you can see it all around me. What they're hoping for, all these properties are hoping to end up with this, the hardwoods. The spruce has gotten murdered, like murdered. Look behind me here. See that? So the idea is for that stuff to disappear. We're on our road to recovery here, and he's gonna see what he gets left up with. I'm leaving. This is right down my alley because I'm a hippie and I don't like cutting stuff that don't need to be cut. But I don't have much hope for them. I will be honest with you, the hardwoods. If anybody knows about this stuff or how they do after a fire, let me know. But these folks have had a year, friends. Just trust me, it's no family wants to go through what these people went through. Even the neighbor, he lost his freaking barn, his shop and everything. It was ugly. Oh, that's brightened up, didn't it, friends? Friends, welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Buck and Billy Ray here. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the newcomers. And if you're a true blue here and you've been here since the days of old, like, pretty cool, eh, friends? Pretty cool, eh? Yeah, it is. You just can't deny it. Let's not deny it. It's pretty cool. This is a complete evolution and a manifestation of this channel. I've talked about this stuff for years. And, you know, without getting all ooga booga on you, but if you think for 1 second that you cannot change your own circumstances in your own life and make things happen, I think you're mistaken. I do. I think you're mistaken if you think that. We are a sum of our past till this point, till right now. So we're on day 2 now. I'm using the 562 right now, friends. And really, Scotty Wilson's saws were awesome. Scotty, thank you again for packing that up. Friends, Scott Wilson, big thank you to Scott Wilson, friends, please. He packed up saws for me, and mailed them out for me. He was kind of like my saw guy. Do you know what I mean, friends? He was like my saw guy. I wasn't going to bother freaking Ripsaw. I wasn't going to bother Ripsaw or anybody. Ripsaw's beating down their lead times. I wasn't about to ask them to help me with something. They're working on a lot of stuff and getting your saws out to you. So I wasn't about to ask freaking Ripsaw to send me some saws. And speaking of Ripsaw, friends, they've been smoking busy getting caught up. They've also got new products on their website for the climbers, like all the ropes, like the kind of ropes I use for rigging, the 5/8, the half, the 9/16. I believe there's a 3/4, but they got all the climbing. If you're a climber or a tree guy, they've got all the ropes and new accessories for all the climbing and the logging and everything on their website. And that's at ripsaw.shop, one I leave in the description there. So check out their website, friends. If you're looking for chains, freaking the little ratchet wrench, all the little goodies, the stuff that I use and you see lots of folks using, they've got it all in there. And a bunch of other new stuff that they've just thrown on the website. So pop into ripsaw.shop and go have a look at what they got going on there. So thanks again, boys. But I'll tell you who did help out is DGP Scotty. Scotty sent us a freaking box of bar oil, friends. And we used I think almost all of it. I think we used three, let's see, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 8 liters. So that's a gallon, 2 gallons. I think about close to 3 gallons of bar oil. So we used a fair bit. Scotty, thank you. Anyway, let's jump into it. I'm just doing little bits of this in between so you know what's going on. Enjoy. Friends, I'm just going to pop in here for a second. You know, it doesn't matter where the tree's leaning. You want to log it so the machine can get to it, get a hold of it and get it out. So we're throwing butts, you know, tops down so the machine can walk down and just hook on with those butts and hit the road. If you throw tops at them, it becomes a mess. Think about walking up to a tree with the top in your face. There's really nothing you can do with it, and it depends on the type of machinery you got. But so that's what we're doing. We're throwing butts at him, or you know, for him, so he can come in. I can hook him up with a rope, and off he goes. You notice that little one I just walked away from. The reason I walked away from it is because it's cut up, and then it just decides to go. Well, I was going to take it with this next one here, but it just decided to go. If you cut too much, you're going to have a major problem on your hands. Here's another example, friends. This tree's cut right up, and it just won't go anywhere because it's bone dead. There's no foliage up there. There's no weight. You'll notice that they're dead. So they're just, and you can see it did have a bit of a pull to the left a bit there, so it needed a little push, but you can push these things over by hand. They're so light, but if you've got like 1.5 inches or 2 inches of holding wood, they're not going anywhere. You got to cut them right up.
Okay, so if you're wondering what's going down, I'm gonna hot log this for him. We started yesterday, we got our feet wet. This is the front. We're gonna leave all the hardwoods we can. We got this area done yesterday. Daryl's opening up this old logging road that was in here. We're tree lengthening this stuff out to the road. All the limbs this is gonna be the process area up here. He's gonna be able to chip, he's gonna be able to do whatever he wants here. But now we're gonna start loading this out. So this is tree length. He's got a septic beyond, but that tree's alive. So that's why I had to nail this. No limbing, no topping, nothing. Straight out. So whatever he can reach from this road, he's gonna do. He's gonna reach it, he's just gonna walk it. We're getting brush up and we're getting logs out. This Brandon from Bolidus.
It's Bolodus. And anybody in that area, you call that man. He's got a big company and he does all kinds of stuff, and he is a freaking stallion of a man. I worked with him. I can stand for him. So for friends watching here, I want folks to understand what's going on here. That this guy and this machine, this Brandon character, he follows the channel. He knew that I was going there and he wanted to get out and play and help this situation and help this family as well. And without Brandon, without this would not have happened. He'd have been left with a bunch of felled and buck timber and limbs. And he understood that. But when Brandon came on the scene, we changed our program and we logged this thing for him. Brandon, I love you, brother. And please, friends, big shout out to Belotus.
Spur Road in, friends. You got to come in sooner or later. But look up above here. Look what we get by just making that small 50-foot spur road. We get all this.
And all
One, two, or three at a time, however we can get with that mini hoe. So I'm just gonna lay them butts out right there.
So friends, I don't know if anybody on the channel does any of this stuff, but I've done all different kinds of logging through the years. High lead, skidder logging, hoe chuck, ton of hoe chuck. It's all about accessibility. Who's going to touch the wood next? Who are you either screwing over or making smile? That's what it's simple, and that's how you build your name. And don't forget about it. So I can just come in here and do my job, and it can be crisscross, willy-nilly, all over the place, and then the hoe operator or the skidder's going to come in and goes, who laid this junk out? Never call that man again. Understand what I'm saying here. So we're going to throw all butts down, and my buddy Belotus is going to come behind me. I'm going to work on the ropes or chokers, and we're going to forward this stuff back over my shoulder, and then we're going to high lead it, or he's going to put his excavator up, and we'll show you all that. But it's not brain science. Just don't be lazy. So all this stuff's leaning back, so I got to cut it up, and we got to, I can take it one by one, or I can just cut it up, and it's so light, it doesn't go anywhere. So we'll hit it, and we'll knock it over with some other stuff here. Okay, I felt an itch inside my gut to come in here and do a quick little interjection. Friends, this style of falling, see, we don't have any reason to go out and limb and buck anything. We're not going back out there. So there was one tree that didn't make it there in the mess. There's one there. You'll see I point. I go like this to Daryl, and we go over and we push it over. But if you miss that tree, this is the problem with this style of falling. And you see guys thinking it's cool and doing it everywhere. In small wood, it's not recommended. You notice everything's all leaning back actually to where I want to fall it. So if they're tied together, they go together. That's just how it is. But this is not recommended falling stuff all the time, just for the sake of doing it. I just wanted to say that. Don't think you're cool if you're doing this, because you're not, especially if you got a limb and bucket. You're better to go one at a time, finish the task at hand, go out, buck and limit, or do whatever. If you're doing tree length, not such a big deal, but don't get into this cutting up all kinds of different trees. You're going to forget one, or one's going to get you. It is not recommended, and it's not actually, it's to overcome a difficulty. That's what pushing is for. It's to overcome falling difficulties. It's not done as a, just for willy-nilly in it. Don't do it.
Okay, go ahead, Daryl. Yeah, looking real good. Keep at her. Keep going. Keep going. Whoa, good there. Coming back. Keep coming back. Keep coming back.
So friends, if you've watched the channel for long enough, you know I like my ropes and my blocks and my pulling my logs out of the bush and that. Well, we did a combination of both. For short leads like this, instead of running the pickup up on the block and going out, we did short, this is called forwarding. You see what Daryl's doing? He's not tying no knots, no nothing, no bells. He just, we got a couple hooked up there, and he just, Daryl quickly just runs up, wraps a series of wraps is sometimes way better. See now, he just loosens off the slack. He goes there, he pulls it tight again. See, just like this, pulls it tight, throws another series of wraps on it, and Brandon just forwards it up. Then we go out and we bring a whole bunch to this one spot right here, and then he's got a thumb on the bucket, and away we go. So we've logged this whole strip now down here against the neighbor's house. If you remember the videos of this, Daryl's trees were right up against this guy's house. I'll show you this.
On the top. Whatever comes with it, comes with it. So here's that big pine that I just dumped, or spruce, or whatever it is. Whatever it is, it's weird and dry and crispy. But it was the neighbors, and Daryl's property runs right up against the neighbors. I fell all this butts forward, you know, butts to the road, tops to here, and now we're just logging it. We got a little mini hoe. This stuff's coming too right now, as a matter of fact, and I'm sending it all butts. We got a little spur road that we poked in here to get all this and that, and we're just pulling them out, whatever the hoe can handle. But I think I left my axe down here. Yeah, I think I did, unless I moved it and now I don't know where it is, because I did bang wedges down here, but I don't recall packing it back with me. There it is, right there on that glorious looking stump. You sneaky little son of a gun. That's a nice little axe. I put that in there to hold my phone. Tricky, eh, friends? So here's the program. The boys are up there, and I was kind of giving them a hand, and I thought, nah, I'm not feeling good here. I gotta, this doesn't make any sense. I'm only here 3 days, use me, right? And Daryl, the homeowner, is working. The boys are up there logging it. You can see they're putting straps and just working it out. It's, you know, we don't want more fuel on the ground. We want this wood out. And if he can salvage something out of milling it, we're gonna get this one too. I don't know, I think this middle hoe might pull this. It might. But if we gotta get it in two, we'll get it in two. You know, it was just a shite storm in here, friends. A complete shite storm. It's so different here than where I'm from. So we're gonna continue to blow this stuff out right here. I built a hole for it already, and we'll just slide it right out of here. The spur road is right here. See this? This is all going. So there's a little road right there. You'll see it. We punched it in. Whether we long line it or not, it's right there. There's the spur road with the mini. And we'll grab all this. That's that one I threw on Instagram, that little butt there. And all this, and I'll throw them butts forward, and he'll have it. They're short trees, friends.
What a small job compared to what I'm used to and and have done in the past. The timber's so different there, friends. It's so short, but don't think for a second because it's small, it's not going to give you the gears, because it will, especially when they're limb bound. Slow down. Just slow down. Take a look at some of the the stumps. It's like the soil has disappeared, and all the roots are exposed, friends, on this. It's really kind of interesting to me, actually. It's a different ecosystem than what we have here. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, you'll see, it looks like my stumps are really high, but if you look closely, they're actually not. They're not. They're right at the flare of the root. They're higher than a conventional cut would be, because there's no point to do that here. We're not skitter logging it. And some may ask, why isn't he just walking down in there and hoe chucking it? Brandon has it's a rubber tired machine, or pardon me, rubber track machine. And he's got a track that he's afraid he'll slip. He doesn't want to lose because there's tons of little stumps and just debris everywhere. We're going to talk about something, friends. Daryl asked me on the live feed yesterday if we're going to talk about, you ever seen those tree mulchers come in and they just mulch and they leave a blanket of like mulch on the ground and it buries all the fresh growth, and it's kind of rough, actually. We're going to talk about some different things, and we're going to get a kind of a scenario from Daryl in the next 3 weeks to a month. I told him to send me a picture of what's going to be coming up around those stumps and what kind of greenery and what kind of regeneration is going to be coming out of our little job there. Thank you for watching. DGP Oil. Thank you, Scotty. ChangeYourOil.com. Belotus, if you're in Nova Scotia and you need excavation work done or anything like that. Belotus. The dude's a stallion. Brandon, what a pleasure to work with you, dude. And Daryl is just, give me something to do. Daryl's just a great man, and his wife just cooked us lunch, and it was just, friends, I can't, I owe my wife everything. She came with me, and I she's always concerned about my health and my well-being, and because she's seen me at the worst, and I'm just, I just got to keep moving. That's all it is for me. I just want to keep moving. All right. Well, there's much more to come on this, friends, but you can see what we're doing, and it's nice to be home. There's a lot on the go. So I'm just glad you're here. Work hard, be honest, and be kind. See you on the next one.